Begin SportsCenter with breaking news in the NBA. Shams Charania is reporting that the Bucks want to shut down Giannis Antetokounmpo for the remainder of the season after he suffered a knee injury that will keep him out at least a week. But Giannis is refusing and wants to return when healthy. The man who broke the story, Shams Charania, joining us alongside NBA champ Kendrick Perkins. Shams, what more can you tell us about this disagreement here between Giannis and the Bucks organization?
Kev, over the last 24 hours, Bucks management has requested Giannis to sit for the remainder of the season after his fifth injury of the season the other day. On Sunday, he suffered a hyperextended knee. He's had calf injuries, groin, and ankle. And the team's playoff chances are almost all over. But Giannis, my understanding, is upset with the Bucks over this. He's refusing the request to have him shut down for the season. He is planning to be back this year. He wants to play, but this is just another moment of dissension for Giannis and the Bucks. Giannis believed that the sides needed to part ways for the last several months. The Bucks didn't. And now the Bucks believe Giannis needs to shut down for the rest of the season. Giannis does not in this instance. So this is something to obviously monitor, but Giannis wants to play. The Bucks don't want him to.
Perk, how do you think this should be handled right now, publicly and in-house?
Well, I mean, it's public information now, and here's the thing, right? While Giannis was trying to do every single thing right by the Bucks and trying not to ask for a trade publicly, all of a sudden he's now realizing that the Bucks are looking out for the best interests of the organization and not Giannis. Because asking him to sit out is basically saying, hey, we want to lose games. We're not trying to win any games. We want to put ourselves in the best position in this upcoming draft. And Giannis has no understanding because he's a true competitor. He's loyal to the game. If he's available, he's going to play. It reminds me of the situation of what happened when KG was in Minnesota. That was the breaking moment for the KG and the Minnesota Timberwolves when they asked him to do the very same thing that the Milwaukee Bucks are asking Giannis Antetokounmpo to do right now.
And then what happened? We saw Kevin Garnett trade to Boston, and the Celtics went on to win a title. Yeah, he teamed up with you. Okay, keep in mind, Milwaukee's currently in 11th place in the East, trailing the Hornets by 6.5 games for that 10th spot. That is the final spot in the play-in tournament, and there's 14 games left on the schedule. Perk, stick around. Shams, thank you so much. We continue to... Well, 3 is the magic number, our weekly three-point play featuring Kendrick Perkins and Brian Windhorst giving us their points about NBA games on ESPN tonight. And it's great to have sports betting analyst Tyler Fulgham off the bench offering us a play now. Warriors-Celtics, first game of our double dip here, Perk. What point do you want to make about Jason Tatum?
Oh, that he's all the way in, that he's ready to go play championship-level basketball, agenda-free basketball. Because, look, I understand right now he's struggling when you look at his field goal percentage, but it's the other things that he's doing right now, rebounding at a high level, being a facilitator, being a guy that's doing the little things that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and he's fitting in. The best thing about it was he was able to sit down on the sideline and be able to watch his team all season long to see how he fits in, and he's doing that at the highest level.
Wendy, what point do you want to make about the Warriors?
Hey, how about Kristaps Porzingis? He had a 30-point game on Monday night. Now, it was against the Wizards, but still, it's the best he's looked in a while. He said today that he's feeling like himself again. He had 20 points in a game last week. Look, he has said before, as he's fought this illness over the last few years, he's felt like himself, and it hasn't always stayed. Right now, he says he's feeling good. And listen, the Warriors need any win they can get. Look for him to have a big game.
Tyler, what's the play here?
Guys, I think the play is to back Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics. Now, they're a big double-digit home favorite, but this year they've been an extremely profitable bet when they've been matched up against the Western Conference and when they've been a double-digit favorite at home. Usually we don't like laying that much wood in an NBA game, but the Celtics are a team you can trust when they're expected to beat inferior competition by double-digit points. I'm going to lay it with Boston in this matchup.
All right, I cannot wait to talk about this nightcap here at 9:30 Eastern. That's Lakers-Rockets. They played just 2 days ago. Lakers came out on top. Perk, what point do you want to make about this Rockets team?
that they couldn't hit a bull in the ass with an ironing board offensively. Their offense grosses me out. Look, no IQ whatsoever, and when it comes to making shots on the perimeter, they're one of the worst in the league. And I understand Kevin Durant took a lot of heat, but Ime Udoka has to help him out. Put him in position to be successful. Take him off the ball and put him in the spots where he could catch and be the great scorer that he is.
I love that analysis. Wendy, what's your point on the game tonight?
Listen, this is a double game. The winner of this game not only gets a game in the standings, they're right next to each other, but they also get the tiebreaker. So it's almost like winning or losing two games. And all of the slander for the Rockets for the last few days has been earned, but they get to play the same team. They get to play them at home. They get to, have a scouting report ready, and they get Alperen Şengün back. If the Rockets have a good couple of hours tonight, they can flip everything around, and I'm sure Tyler knows that when he's about to make this pick.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I do know that, Wendy, and I kind of feel like an ass after what Kurt said, but I'm going to back the Rockets here. Now, the market's moving the Lakers' favor. They're a public team. They've been hot as of late, so I think people are starting to catch on that and want to jump on the bandwagon. But because Alperen Şengün is back, because they're at home again, and because the Lakers, despite this hot stretch, have struggled at times against good competition, I think this is a must-win spot for the Rockets where I'm going to back them laying the short 1.5 at home.
Yeah, the Lakers have won 6 straight. The Rockets have split their last 8. K-Perk, one more time. What's that analysis there with the bull? One more time.
Couldn't hit a bull in the ass with an ironing board.
With
it's hard
that,
to swing an ironing board.
Thank you, fellas.
What if the Lakers' quiet trade deadline was never about doing too little, but about setting up the loudest offseason move in basketball? Seriously, Lakers Nation, what if Rob Pelinka looked at the whole league, stayed patient, added Luke Kennard for shooting, protected flexibility, and said, yeah, we're saving our real swing for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Because that is the conversation getting louder and louder around the NBA. And once you step back and look at the full picture, it actually starts to make real sense. ESPN reported in January that Giannis's future in Milwaukee was already in flux as the Bucks faced one of the most critical transaction windows in franchise history. And the central issue was simple. If Milwaukee can't build a true contender around him, the pressure on that partnership only grows. Then during All-Star Weekend, ESPN again highlighted the atmosphere around the league and the non-stop attention on superstar movement, while Giannis remained one of the biggest names hovering over everything. And now, when you connect that to the Lakers, oh man, the storyline writes itself. This franchise has Luka Doncic. This franchise still has LeBron James in the building right now. This franchise has brand power, championship urgency, and the kind of stage that can sell a new era in one phone call. If Giannis is truly prioritizing titles above all else, then pairing him with Luka is not fantasy basketball. It is one of the clearest superstar fits in the league. Luka gives you genius creation, manipulation, and control. Giannis gives you force, rim pressure, defense, and chaos. Put those two together in purple and gold, and that's not just star power, that's a nightmare for the West. Now, let's be real, because this is where the business side comes in. Spot Track shows Giannis is on a massive salary, and the Lakers' cap table is tightly tied to their biggest contracts, including LeBron's situation in the rest of the roster structure. So no, this would not be easy. It would likely require major maneuvering, future draft capital, and probably a painful conversation or two about who stays and who goes. But that is exactly why the Lakers' patience matters. After the draft, they project to control more future first-round flexibility than they had during the season, and that matters in any superstar chase. Reports around the league have framed Giannis' situation as one to monitor closely, not because a move is guaranteed, but because Milwaukee cannot let a franchise-altering asset drift toward the end of his deal without confronting reality. And from the Lakers side, the logic is obvious. If the post-LeBron era is really becoming the Luka era, then the fastest way to build a new dynasty is to put another unstoppable force next to him. Oh, that's the dream. That's the gamble. That's the kind of move only a franchise like the Lakers even dares to imagine. And honestly, that's why this story has real juice. Because even if the Lakers do not have the cleanest package on paper, they do have something some teams can't offer: market, legacy, urgency, and Luka. That combination can matter if Giannis ever gets to the point where preference starts shaping the market. So my view is simple. If there is even a crack in that door, the Lakers absolutely should attack it with everything they have. This is the kind of move that can define the next 5 years of the franchise and maybe the next 5 years of the league. So now I want to hear from you, Lakers Nation. Would you go all in for Giannis if it meant reshaping the roster around Luka, or is the price too dangerous? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more Lakers news, rumors, and reactions. Because if this story gets hotter, oh yeah, we're going to be right in the middle of it.